I was telling this guy yesterday, I'm like, if you're an atheist, you're a fool. So of course I got to the point. I'm like, so what happened? Why do you have to get rid of Hashem? You know, this guy's married for a very short while, and his wife can't, thinks he's a whatever. And I said, like, let's skip all the God stuff. I don't even want to bother with that. What's going on? What happened to you in yeshiva? What's your trauma? Where do you want to go? What kind of Averis do you want to do? You're not stupid. You know there's a creator, right? And you also know that we don't understand everything about the creator because it's way above us. And we understand that there are things that are, I've flown a plane. I don't know how it flies. I have no idea. I trust that whoever built the plane and there's a pilot. I don't know him. I didn't meet him. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know his family. I don't know anything about him. But I know he flies a plane, right? So I don't need to know. All of a sudden, God, you need to know. I told the guy yesterday, I'm like, you need to know God. What does he look like? Who's his father? 1 second, you went on a plane, you didn't even know, a plane! You didn't even ask the pilot, who's your father? Where do you come from? Are you drunk? Do you drink? Maybe he's suicidal, maybe he's depressed, right? You trust. You have trust in a pilot, but you don't have trust in God, who's running a whole world. And an earth that has no strings and no nothing. And it's very interesting. I was reading a book about meteors. You know what meteors are? It's like things from space that come flying towards Earth. They have asteroids and meteor, and they have pieces of metal that we have satellites that come out of orbit. Hashem. So here you have this Earth, right, in the middle of nowhere, with nothing holding it up. It's just there, right? And Hashem created the world with a barrier. There are thousands of meteors that hit Earth every day. They start off huge asteroids, huge boulders that would destroy half of New York City. But when it's going through our atmosphere, it burns up. And it ends up landing in a field somewhere, a grain of sand. So Hashem didn't only create a world that's out there, but what you cannot see, because you can't see it with your eye, right, is this atmosphere, this protection that He put around the earth, right, that anything that comes towards the earth burns up. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? Burns up in the atmosphere. Mamish burns up in the atmosphere to protect us. So every day, you have these huge things coming at us, like bombs from outside in space. You don't even know about it. Why? Hashem created this atmosphere. So I'm like, so you think, I told this guy yesterday, I said, so you think this whole atmosphere around the earth that burns up anything that tries to come into the earth just happened? Just happened? The atmosphere happened, the earth happened, plants grow, and everything just happened. I said, how could you be so stupid? I mean, that's stupid. That's not. But he reads books. He reads books on all the stuff. I'm like, you're reading books. You're reading books of atheists, but there's a lot of books you can read. There's a math book that's called Flatlands. It's very, very brilliant. It's written by one of the greatest mathematicians that ever lived, and he proves God through math. The guy. So I asked him, "Did you read Flatlands?" What? What's that? I'm like, so you're only looking to get out. There's a reason that you want to get out. I don't believe that they're atheists. I believe they're just people who. And this week's parsha is the two proofs, by the way, that Hashem did create the world. Not that He created the world. Two proofs that He gave us the Torah. Because in this parsha it tells us the chazir, the pig, is the only animal in the world that has split hooves and doesn't chew its cud. Now, if anyone wrote the Torah, right? If I wrote the Torah, I would never put something in it that you could disprove. What do I have to put that in there for? I have to make a statement? Hashem was sending us a little message to tell us that, by the way, I created the world. Because if I write in the Torah that there is no animal except the pig, if you find an animal outside of the pig, then the Torah is false. So how could someone know every animal in the world? We're still finding new animals today. And the answer is, if I created every animal, I could tell you I didn't create an animal except the pig that has split hooves and doesn't chew its cud. So there's a very open, clear proof that the Torah was written by God. Until someone finds an animal that has split hooves and doesn't chew its cud, and it's not a pig. And so far, since the beginning of creation, we haven't found that animal. Then the Torah tells us there's no fish in the world that has scales and no fins. Now, you could tell me Moshe Rabbeinu wrote the Torah, and he was a zoologist, and he knew every animal in the world, even though he was in the Middle East. He didn't know what was going on in the Amazon, right? But fish are on the bottom of the sea. We can't even see them. Never had a fish come up in the net from the bottom of the sea that has scales and doesn't have fins. So Hashem put these two little proofs in the Torah for those who are looking for proofs that He exists. That's in, we'll talk about it soon. That's in this week's Pasha.